So chapter 5, capital market. So already in the previous class we saw the portion, the introduction of capital market, meaning and definition of capital market, evolution and growth of capital market. This is what we saw in the previous class. So introduction of capital market, meaning and definition, and how it was growth in India, Indian financial market, evolution and the growth. So this is all we saw in the previous class. Today, the characteristics of capital market and the kinds of capital market. So these two topics we are going to see today. First of all, characteristics of capital market or features of capital market. What are the characteristics or features of capital market? Number one, security market. So one of the characteristics of the capital market is securities market. Why it is so called? So in the capital market, dealing of securities, that means borrowing and selling, exchanging of securities in the capital market. The securities may be shares and debentures, and sometimes some other securities also be exchanged in the capital market. So security market is a market for buying and selling of shares and debentures, that is financial securities or financial claims that are exchanged in the market. That is why this capital market is called as security market. Security market means the market where the dealing of securities or buying and selling of securities for raising of capital, long-term capital funds. Sometimes it may be used for medium-term funds also. So that it is called as security market. The second one, prices of the securities. How the prices of the financial instruments are decided or determined. The prices of the securities, that is shares and debentures, are determined by the demand and supply position prevailing in the capital market. What should be the demand position? What should be the supply position for the financial securities or financial instruments? Depend on the demand and supply only, the prices of the securities will be determined or decided. For example, if the demand is more for the securities, supply is less, then prices of such securities will be higher one. Demand is more and supply is less, then the prices of the security will be higher one. So in contra or otherwise, the demand is less, supply is more, the prices of the securities will be lesser one. So the demand and supply position that are prevailing in the capital market, then only the prices of the securities are determined. So the two factors which are determining the prices of the financial securities is demand and supply. Then third characteristic, participants. Who are the participants in the capital market? There are many participants who are participated in dealing of securities or buying and selling of securities for raising of long-term and medium-term funds. Namely, individuals, then corporate sectors, government, banks and many financial institutions. These are the many participants who are participating in the dealing of financial securities in the capital market. Industrial undertakings, then corporate sectors, government, banks and other financial institutions. So they all need finance, or sometimes they are all suppliers of the financial assistance. So that the individual may also participate in the capital market. So individual, industrial undertaking, corporate sectors, government, banks and many financial institutions are dealing in the financial securities in the capital market. So these are all the participants in the capital market. The next characteristic is location. What should be the location for the functioning of capital market? The functioning of capital market not specified in any particular place. So So there is no specified place for the functioning of capital market. However, the part of capital market should be located on the particular concentrated on the well-known center. That should be concentrated near the or a particular well-known center. For example, stock exchange. So it is a well-known center for all the people. The capital market should be located or the concentrated in the nearby the stock exchange. Apart from that, wherever the suppliers or the users of capital market gathering together or get together and do the business, in such a place the capital market may be function. Where the capital market is function means wherever the supplier of funds, wherever the user of funds are get together and do the business, in such a place the capital market should be located. So, simply say the capital market should be located or the part of capital market should be function or located or concentrated nearby the well-known center. Then the supplier users of the capital market are get together and do the business. The supplier users are more and do the business in such a place the capital market should be located. Then market for financial assistance. So the capital market is providing a basic platform. It's providing a basic platform for the arrangements of medium-term and long-term financial assistance. The capital market providing mainly financial assistance for the medium-term and long-term financial assistance. So these are the 5 characteristics of capital market. A capital market should possess the following characteristics or features. Number 1, securities market. The capital market dealing in various securities like shares and debentures, so that it is called as security market. Number 2, the prices of the securities are determined by the demand and the supply position that are prevailing in the capital market. This is the second characteristic. Third one, who are all the participants in the capital market? Many participants have participated, namely individual industrial undertakings, corporate sectors, government, banks and many financial institutions. And the location of the capital market should be concentrated on the well-known place, well-known trading center. Then wherever the suppliers and users or capital market get together and do the business. Then it is a market for providing platform, providing of medium and long-term financial assistance. These are the 5 characteristics of capital market. The next topic is kinds of capital market. The capital market should be classified into 2 types, namely primary market and secondary market. 2 classification or 2 kinds of capital market. Then what is primary market and what is secondary market? Primary market is a market for new issue of shares or new financial claims. The dealing in financial securities in the primary market or new issues, new financial claims are exchanged in the primary market. Then exchange of new financial securities that are related with or providing of long-term funds. So the financial market providing long-term funds for the newly established companies. That is why the primary market is a market for new issue of shares. The shares which are issued for the first time to the public or investors. Then the primary market issue the shares and debentures and other financial instruments by 3 ways. What are the 3 methods? First of all, public issue method. Number 2, right issue. Number 3, private placement. There are 3 methods which are followed by the primary market for raising of their capital of the companies. First one, method of public issue. Method of raising capital the newly established company. Public issue is one of the method of raising capital by way of new issue of shares and debentures by the newly established company. This method followed newly established companies, and they wanted to raise their funds by way of sale of securities and debentures or other method to the public only. So the sale of securities to the public by the newly established companies for raising of their fresh capital of the undertakings or the company. So this method is called a public issue. I repeat once again, public issue is a method of raising capital by the newly established companies by way of sale of securities to the public. That is why this method is called as public issue. Second one, right issue. It is a method of raising capital by the existing company. Existing company means the company which are functioning already. They also wanted to raise their capital for as an additional capital. So the existing company wanted capital as an additional capital for the various projects. So in such a situation, the company issued shares and debentures or other securities for raising of additional capital only to the existing shareholders. Existing shareholders means those who are already shareholders in the same company. Say they only get the share capital when the company issue the additional capital, additional shares. So that is why this method of issue is called as right issue. So you know the comparison between the public issue and the right issue. Public issue is a method of raising capital by the newly established company as fresh capital, and the sale of securities to the only to the public. Whereas in the right issue, the method of raising capital by the existing company or the old company wanted to raise their additional capital. So in such a case, they issue the shares shares and debentures only to the existing shareholders, those who are already shareholders in the same company. So that is why this method is called as right issue. Third one, private placement. So private placement is a method of raising of share capital, and the company sell the securities or shares only to the small group of investors, only a small group of individuals. So the company sell the securities or the financial claims privately only to a small group of investors, not to the public, not to the existing shareholders. So the private placement, sale of securities or shares that are taking place only to the small group of investors. That is why this method of issue is called as private placement. So the primary market raising the share, in the primary market the company raising the share capital by three methods. Number one, public issue. This is only for the newly established companies. Second one, right issue. This is only for the existing company. And the private placement, the company sale of the shares and securities to privately only a small group of investors. So with that end of the primary market. Then secondary market, another type of capital market is secondary market. Secondary market is a market for old securities, which means it is already issued in the primary market, already sold in the primary market. So it is again sold in the secondary market. Secondary market is a market for sale of old securities which are already issued in the primary market. So the participants in the secondary market are the trading of transactions between taking place various investors, buying and selling of securities taking place among the various investors. Then the secondary market covers, namely stock exchange and over the counter exchange market. These are the two things which are covered in the secondary market, stock exchange and over the counter exchange market. I repeat once again, secondary market is a market for sale of old securities which are formerly issued in the primary market. The securities are issued in the primary market, again it's sold in the secondary market. The trading are taking place between the various investors. The secondary market are engaged in the stock exchange and over the counter exchange market. So these are the information about the various kinds of capital markets, primary market and the secondary market. So far we have discussed in chapter number 5, that is capital market. Introduction of capital market, meaning and definition of capital market, evolution and growth of capital markets. Today, the characteristics of capital market and kinds of capital market. Remaining portion we will see in the next class.